and bank fraud. So what does it all mean? Let's bring in Republican strategist Kenneth Vecchio. We're also joined by Democratic strategist Michael Tobman. And I want to start with a political question before we talk about the legal stuff. Michael, there's an argument that Democrats have made that every day that we're talking about the Trump scandals is a great day for Democrats, a bad day for Republicans running for re-election. But we're still 74 days away from the midterms. Couldn't that change back?
I am in the minority amongst my colleagues in believing that what we are seeing is peculiar to, and I think specific, and stays within the confines of discussing the presidency and the upcoming presidential election in 2020, not necessarily the midterms. Why? House districts are ultimately very small, and they're won on local issues and local personalities. Yes, we do have oftentimes national news that impact them, and statewide races, which is what U.S. Senate races are their own peculiar beasts. So is it a great day for Democrats every time this happens? Sort of, but I'm not sure that it translates or trickles down. I don't know yet.
We have seen some Republican leaders, including Tom Cole, who was the House campaign chairman, tell vulnerable Republicans to start creating some distance from the Trump scandals. Is that smart?
I don't buy into any of it because the people who are supportive of Donald Trump are absolutely diehard. If anything, the entirety of these events are making people run more towards Donald Trump rather than away from him. Establishment Republicans, in a large part, are negative towards Donald Trump. They'll try to be underground, most of them, but if they can pop their heads out and try to point to some of these things that sound bad when you're looking at them in the totality of the circumstances, but politically they're not bad for the same reasons they're not bad legally. You break them all down and they're not problematic. People are more angered by the fact that they think that there is a real true witch hunt going on and they don't buy into these like really ancillary charges.
If there is something there and it's not just a witch hunt, would Alan Weisselberg, the CFO, wouldn't he know about it? I mean, he was the person who controlled and has the information on Donald Trump's tax returns. He knows all the financing for the Trump organization.
Not if it has anything to do with Russia collusion, as the special counsel was commissioned to try to figure out if such occurred. You know, Weisselberg certainly is Donald Trump's financial guru, knows everything according to the media reports, at least that I'm hearing, about Donald Trump's finances. Look, the only thing so far that special counsel and or the Southern District has been able to come up with are things related to finances, even this campaign finance matter. I believe that what they're trying to do through Weisselberg was get information on Cohen, and they hope that something else springs out of it so that special counsel can come in and say, oh, now that relates to my investigation. Hey, that's a kind of crafty and smart move by the coordinating prosecutors, but I really don't think there's going to be anything there. If there was, let's point this out right now. If Donald Trump had conspired with Michael Cohen to say, let's commit murder, and there was corroborating evidence for it, wouldn't Donald Trump be charged right now, notwithstanding this idea that a president can't get charged?
That sounds good, but we all know it doesn't quite work that way. Special counsels and prosecutors are once empowered can look into anything. However, this is where the president and his team throughout the campaign and 2 years into the administration show their inexperience. They should be worried because they don't even know what they should be worried about. They don't know that these are things that, and I think it was written in an opinion piece recently, that in business, these are things that prosecutors would say are not criminal matters, settle it civilly. Or you pay a fine and you move on. It's a very different stage, it's a much bigger stage, and the consequences, they really don't appreciate.
But is some of the speculation, for example, about Weisselberg perhaps inappropriate? What I mean is, we know that he was given this prosecution immunity agreement looking back at Michael Cohen. We don't know that he has given up anything.
Ultimately, we don't really know anything. These things are conducted in the strictest of secrecy. There really haven't been very many leaks. What I always find, sort of being tongue-in-cheek, fascinating, is that we're talking about relatively small numbers. These guys didn't have $130,000 in cash laying around to take care of whatever they felt they needed to take care of. They had to start moving money and laundering it. The whole thing strikes me as very tawdry.
The massive big problem here is the hoax of the prosecutions that are occurring. And let's take most saliently Michael Cohen.
Well, I want to stop you there, because if there was a hoax, why would Donald Trump have a problem with Attorney General Jeff Sessions recusing himself from the Russia investigation? He shouldn't worry about the Russia investigation no matter who was in charge. And here's what Jeff Sessions has been pushing back. Again, Donald Trump complained this week about Jeff Sessions recusing himself because of his own Russian connections. And Jeff Sessions then pushed back by saying, while I am Attorney General, the actions of the Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations. President Trump fired back on Twitter saying, in part, Jeff, this is great, what everyone wants, so look into all of the corruption on the other side, meaning Democrats, adding, come on, Jeff, you can do it, the country is waiting.
I think Donald Trump is upset because he appointed Sessions to be the Attorney General of the United States and to head all investigations, and there really was no fundamental reason legally, and that's all that's important legally, not politically, for Jeff Sessions to have removed himself from this investigation. Why? Because Rod Rosenstein is just as intertwined with these matters as Jeff Sessions might have been.
Mike Tobin will give you the last 15 seconds.
And for that matter, there was really no need to dismiss Comey, and if that hadn't happened, then a lot of these other things hadn't have. So, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Extremely valuable reasons because he didn't trust Comey and because Comey was a proven liar.
We will see how this plays out. Sometimes it is the cover-up, not the original crime. Kenneth Vecchio, Michael Tobin, thanks as always for coming in on this Friday night. We appreciate it. Still to come, intact video doorbells are the latest fad in home security, and this new piece of technology works just about anywhere. We'll explain. And it's like the bizarre beginning of a joke. So a bear walks into a hotel that inspired The Shining. We will tell you if it got an early checkout or hung around to terrify the locals.